Thank you. We'll have the clerk please call the roll.
Supervisor Fountain?
Here.
Treasurer Horning?
Here.
Trustee Collier? Absent. Trustee Harper?
Here.
Trustee Germain? Absent. Trustee Petrucci?
Here.
Thank you. Item number 4 is approval of our meeting agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Treasurer Horning, second by Trustee Harper. Is there any discussion? Being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item is call to the public. Anybody at call to the public this evening? Being nobody at call to the public, we'll move on to item number 6, which is approval of our consent agenda.
Move. Support.
Motion by Trustee Petrucci, second by Trustee Harper. Is there any discussion? Being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item number 7A this evening is a resolution for our 2019 board meeting dates.
I move to approve the resolution setting the 2019 Hartland Township Board meeting dates.
Support.
Motion by Treasurer Horning. Being none, I'll have the clerk please call the roll.
Trustee Germain? Absent. Trustee Collier? Absent. Supervisor Fountain?
Here. 7B is a resolution for our sewer and water rates. This comes from our study that was done a couple years ago, James?
Yes.
Okay.
And all of the rates are still following the study. Everything's
Following the study.
Performing as expected.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Harper, second by Clerk Schofu.
Hope you, yes.
Thank you. And our next one is 7C, marijuana ordinance information. We talked about this at our admin meeting, and this is the actual sale of marijuana within your community.
The establishments that
Establishment. And they really haven't come up with the rules for it at the admin meeting, and we're recommending to the board that we wait until the laws come up until we have a discussion on it, because we really don't know. We don't know all the rules and regulations and everything else that they're going to have. We don't even have an idea yet what type of money would be available if we wanted to consider it. There's just a lot of questions yet. So, James, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, like most initiated acts, the legislature has to promulgate some rules yet, and there's a lot of unanswered questions. There's some ambiguity in the act that may not even get clarified until there's some case law on it through the courts. Whether or not the board wants to opt into it at a later time or just opt out altogether, either way, I'm recommending you opt out now, and then as that picture becomes clear, you can make a more informed decision later on.
I kind of support that, because what's going to prevent somebody from coming down and opening the store and saying, okay, the law's passed, there's no law that prohibits me from opening a store, you haven't passed the ordinance to prohibit it, what are you going to do? Yeah. You're going to end up in court.
If you don't opt out now, it could create a problem down the road if you decide to do that permanently. But if you don't, you can always opt back in.
That's right.
Yep. Hi, Matt.
Good evening.
We're just getting on the ordinance for the marijuana.
Okay.
To opt out at this time until we get further information. I don't know if there's any. If you have any questions or thoughts on that.
No, I think it's a wise move.
Yeah, we know what's going on.
Is there any discussion on that? Being none, I'll entertain a motion for the ordinance.
I'll move resolution adopting an ordinance for the prohibition of marijuana establishments in our community.
Support.
Motion by Trustee Harper,
growing.
second by Trustee Germain.
Other than, the question was, does it include growing, except for personal purposes, which becomes legal on Thursday.
Right.
Any other discussion? Being none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Actually, a resolution. I'll have the clerk please call the roll. Sorry about that.
Trustee Harper?
Yes.
Trustee Germain?
Yes.
Trustee Petrucci?
Yes.
Supervisor Fountain?
Yes.
Clerk Schofu, yes. Trustee Collier? Absent. Treasurer Horning?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 8 is board reports. We are in our first meeting in December. We'll start with Trustee Harper.
No report.
Trustee Petrucci.
Well, I just want to remind everybody that, because I don't think we have a meeting between now and then, but the Imagine Theater is opening on the 15th for the public. But if you want to go to the VIP on Friday the 14th, you can still purchase tickets for that. And 100% of the ticket price goes to either Gleaners or to La Casa.
Split.
Split it. So the Imagine Theater is not realizing any of that money. They're providing all of the hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and refreshments that evening, and it's a great cause to do it, and you have a first-hand look at the theater before the public sees it. So it's open to everyone, and people watching on TV, if you'd like to purchase tickets, just go on the Casa website.
You find it on the township website or on our Facebook page, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. That's all I wanted to
Okay, thank you.
remind.
Clerk Shofu.
One of our precincts was selected for the post-election audit last Monday. The county election coordinator and the county clerk were here for 3.5 hours, and we had absolutely no issues. So everything was done very well.
Thank you. Treasurer Horning.
Tax bills went out on November 30th, and people are starting to receive them today.
Thank you. Trustee Germain.
I have one quick report, and I actually would like to get some feedback from the board as well on this topic. In the past, we've provided information that the Livingston County Farm Bureau had received a grant from Michigan Farm Bureau to install a hoop house at the Hartland Teen Center. And we're in the process of completing the purchase, perhaps even yet this week. But what we've determined in discussions with the Livingston County Building Department, that as long as the structure is considered a temporary building, then we do not need to meet any of the building codes for a permanent structure. And the hoop house that had been selected before the grant application was submitted has anchoring system by basically putting poles in the ground and then counterbalance of a concrete anchor on the inside of the structure. The structure is supposed to be 20 feet wide and 24 feet long, and it comes with an entrance door and a furnace for longer use during the growing season. So the question I have for the board, but the problem is that if we buy an actual commercial grade greenhouse, the cost is closer to $12,000 or $13,000. But that would be considered a permanent greenhouse, which would be there for a long time. The one that we had originally selected basically just sits at ground level and is anchored into the soil. So what it basically boils down to is we've only been able to secure $10,000 in funding so far. So the question to the board is, would you be comfortable with putting in basically what's considered a temporary building, because it's not intended to last forever, but it still meets all of the safety guidelines in terms of fire exits and snow loads and all those types of things that would normally be considered in a permanent structure.
So, Matt, can you explain that again? Is there a grant for the one that's not permanent as well? Is there 2 different options for grants or not?
We have secured $7,500 from Livingston County Farm Bureau, and the Hero Board has put in an additional $2,500. So that's
for the permanent structure?
For any structure,
For any
because
structure.
we wanted to put. We need an electrician to wire it. I mean, there's other expenses besides just purchasing the structure. So I'm hesitant to move forward if the township board has any concerns about putting in what's considered a temporary greenhouse. So that's the question I wanted to raise.
What size would it be if the temporary?
The height that we're looking for has a maximum height of 15 feet. So it's a complete semicircle with a maximum height of 15 feet.
And the length?
It's got heavy-duty plastic, so it's transparent.
Oh, okay. 24 by 20.
Are they like the ones up on 23 towards Flint?
Not that elaborate.
But not that big. But this
correct.
looks about the same.
Yeah. The difference is that those actually have a vertical wall and a perimeter and then a roof structure over top of it. This has everything combined into one. It's just,
Got it.
It's kind of like the old VW Beetle that was so famous for how structurally sound it was and crashes is because
It's like an army barracks. Like an army barracks.
Quonset hut.
Quonset hut, yeah.
Where do you want to put it?
It's
Between
going
the
to be
freeway and the building?
It would be located at the southwest corner of the building, not in the parking lot, but in the grass right behind the parking lot.
You take the plastic off it in the summertime?
Yes, you can. And that was actually a location that Bob West selected because it's in the best proximity to the utilities that we wanted. I mean, if it's a temporary structure, we don't even have to put underground piping. We could just run a hose from the side of the building. So the county building department, and I'm not knocking them one bit. They're, if it's a permanent building, they want to verify that the well has sufficient capacity. I mean, it's just turned into, I wouldn't say a nightmare, but this was all Agrada's engineering time that I've been putting in, and it's starting to mount up quite a bit. Even to get the township permit, we still have to have drawings, so those are nearly complete.
What do you think about it as a board member for the Hero? What are your thoughts?
My thought, as speaking as a Hero board member, is that we really feel that this is a great opportunity for an education for the students that come after school. There are some professional gardeners and others that have already been speaking there during the summer that thought it would be a great idea to enhance the food growing experience and the knowledge that comes from trying to operate a greenhouse and get a viable crop. I can guarantee you, though, we will not be growing any marijuana.
How about between the permanent one and the temporary one? What would be your recommendation?
My recommendation is to go with the temporary one.
The temporary one?
I mean, it's only temporary from the standpoint as it's a definition from the building department. That's basically all it is.
So if you wanted to move it or something else, it would be pretty simple to do.
It would be. Or if it turns out to be a flop, we've got an asset, we can sell it to another greenhouse.
So are you looking to, do you need to have a motion or just what are you looking for
You
this
just
evening?
want our opinion, didn't
I'm
you?
wanting your opinion. I don't want to
Re-
go and purchase a structure that, would not be, the township would not want to have it affiliated with it, on our property. So, and I would encourage both, since he's here, Bob West to speak up and provide his thoughts, and Manager Wickman too, because they may have thoughts that I haven't considered from the standpoint of insurance or fire ratings or other things of that nature. Or I guess I could throw this out, the township work and just say, well, let's throw $10,000 to it and put in a permanent structure. I mean, if you buy the one that's the commercial grade, it comes with all the engineering prints, the snow load, wind resistance, earthquake proof calculations. I mean, you get everything for an extra 10 grand. So. Do you have any thoughts? Please.
I'm somewhat familiar with this project because, as Trustee Germain had indicated, I have worked with him on the initiation of the preliminary site plan. I certainly believe that the structure location is in a good location at the Hero Center due to the utilities location. However, I certainly don't want to give any insight that may circumvent the process that we have in place. I'll just kind of leave it at that right now.
Well, that's plenty.
No?
Thank you.
think the only thing, of course, is obviously, some more maintenance to be done. As long as it's well taken care of, it's a higher risk for possibly becoming blighted if it's not taken care of. I trust everybody will take care of it, so.
Any board members' thoughts?
Will the program be run by the teen center? Is that, so they will bring in the gardeners and that, and, okay.
So you have enough money through the grant to buy the not permanent one?
Yes, we do.
You could still use those proceeds from Farm Bureau then? Kathy, you have any questions, thoughts? So we take an informal vote?
We don't need a vote.
Well, let me ask this question, and I'm just going to throw this out, because you know I'm in favor of it, Matt.
Right,
Obviously.
and you're also a HERO board member, so
I know that.
we want to be transparent.
But I'm just wondering, for protocol, do you think that we should have a recommendation letter from Planning Commission or Troy or somebody like that to?
It's going through the normal land use process. The land use requirements are being satisfied.
Yeah,
So,
we already have
yeah.
Troy's blessing.
Yeah.
And we don't need one.
It's an accessory structure. You don't have to go in front of the planning commission for that. It met the zoning requirements and the zoning administrator satisfied.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're doing it right, that's all.
We are, I don't have the extra money to throw at this structure, so that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Also, the fact that it's temporary, I like that as opposed to permanent, because if we change the use of that building for whatever reason down the road, it's easier to get rid of as opposed to something that's permanent.
Right.
If it's really successful, you could always put a permanent one in at a later date as well.
If it works out.
All right. Is anybody against the proposal for putting a temporary? Kathy, you're okay with it? You have it informally.
Right. And the building department has already assured us if that's our decision, there's no permit required.
Okay.
We're going to construct it following the township's own engineering standards for, getting a qualified electrician and all those types of things. But other than that, there's no what do they call it, inspections from the building
So
department.
you have electric for the light and probably the heater?
The heat.
Got it. All right.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank
Okay.
you for your input.
Just briefly, the county had contacted me today about radon kits. There is radon in Livingston County. They're going to be available. Bobby might not know this yet, but unless James briefed you, but the county's giving away free kits. So James is going to contact the county and they'll be available. Did you say they would be going through his department?
Yep.
And I don't know anything more than that other than the county's offering them. And there are certain areas. Did you already contact?
Yeah, just
Okay.
a quick update. We have reached out to the county health department, and we are on the list. They have not been delivered yet to date, and we will follow whatever protocol they require for distribution. My understanding is that they are free of charge, and it's more of a courtesy from the health department. So we will be a distribution point for Hartland residents of those radon kits once they arrive. I'm sure we will have some social media updates as well as on our website updated once those are available. So stay tuned for more.
Can you
Will
give
they
us
test
a
them
little
for-
one-on-one what radon is?
In a short version, radon is a naturally occurring gas that generally is odorless. It's non-detectable without equipment, and generally can be found as kind of a byproduct of decomposition in different soil conditions, and it can enter homes primarily through basements. That's generally speaking where they come from. Many different mitigation options are available if it is discovered in your home. It is considered to be a health concern. I'll say that much. However, different levels can dictate different remedies. So the first key as far as these tests go is determining if it exists in your home. So from that point, the health department will have additional information available to the public as to what sort of recourse or corrective measures are available.
Bob, you mentioned that the kit is free, but is the testing, are they going to test it for free too?
We're still waiting to find out. It's somewhat preliminary email they shot out saying, hey, we're looking for you guys from a distribution point. I haven't found that out yet, quite frankly.
The email said they weren't rolling the program out till next month, so it may be a while till we have information, then we'll put it out there.
So stay tuned. We'll certainly have more information available, and I'll certainly update my operation report to reflect that.
Thank you.
All right, is there anything else for this portion of our meeting?
Can I just explain something to the students that are out there? The reason our meetings go so quickly and we vote on things so quickly is because we have workshops that are open to the public, and we discuss all of these items at the workshops, and also the information and discussion on your number 9 on this. You're welcome to stay for that, but our regular meeting is ended. But you're welcome to stay there, and we go till 9:30, 10, and 11 o'clock at night, so whatever you want. You're welcome to do that.
In other words, get out of here.
If there's nothing else, we'll take a brief recess and we'll go into our work session.
Anybody else need signatures?
Hello. Thank you.